Yo, 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 what's up? AWO, and we're in the house. What's up, guys? It's Sunday. You know what that means? It means it's time for AWO Detracts. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Aaron War Order. I hope you're all having a good Sunday. I'm doing okay. The Sunday's okay. Hope this chat starts gets popping soon. A little earlier stream than usual. Actually, weekends I usually do earlier than this, but for this subject, I needed some time. For this stream, I need some time. Okay? Need some extra time for this stream. Okay? So welcome to the AWO Aaron Order. If you're checking out the channel for the first time and you see what you like, do me a favor to make sure to subscribe. Smash the like button. And join membership down below. It's not overly expensive to join membership. I hope to see the chat start popping soon. Early, yeah. But I hope to see it popping soon. Alright? I'd like to say hello to anybody that's gonna pop into the chat. Yes, we're going over Grace Randolph today. We're going over Grace Randolph on the Fantastic Four trailer that dropped a couple days ago. Her thoughts on that. That's the idea. Okay. That's the plan. It's not a video. She didn't do a video. She did a stream where she on this stream she talked about 3 topics, and Fantastic Four was one of them. And it was the first topic. It's about 25 to 26 minutes long. That's why I want to start a little bit earlier so we can get through it. The Grace Randolph video. Well, not a video. Live stream segment of her live stream. That's the idea. Okay. And I hope to see this chat pop. Because it's gonna. Because I don't know what she says. So I don't know beforehand what she says, okay? Let you all know. I don't know what she says beforehand, so I'm going in fresh like you guys would be. Okay, it's all set up. We're detracting her, see what she has to say. Last night, we did the opposite of detracting. I did the opposite of detracting. I went to positive. I looked at positive stuff last night. Okay. But today we're going to be detracting. Okay. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, have some fun, because this is what it's going to be about. Okay. Me going over Grace Randolph. I sent invite to Blinded. I don't see the chat very active yet. So I'll give people 5 minutes. Okay? 5 more minutes. I gotta check something real quick. It's actually quite quiet in my group chats. Surprisingly quiet. Yes, I also kind of posted something in my posts. I posted in the post section of my YouTube account. Go check it out. An update on my plans plans for this channel going forward, moving forward. Okay? Okay? New plans going forward starting this week. This week. Okay? This week. New plans. Okay? Hopefully this channel. I'd like to see this chat this start popping. Chat get popping. Okay? I saw Patrick earlier. That's it. You have to get a. I decided, take a little break from Superman and talk Fantastic Four, which is coming out soon, 2 weeks after Superman, and sometimes my viewers do come in later. Sometimes, okay, that does happen. So I'm okay with that. Okay. I got up. Here's Grace. Randolph for you guys. I know Superman's the hot topic. I understand, guys. Superman is the hot topic. And obviously I could continue talking about Superman if I wanted to. But I'm not. Okay? There's other things to talk about. Which I plan to do, okay, guys? Which I'm doing for you guys. Okay? And I do hope this chat starts to get popping soon, alright? Because it's very, very boring right now. Also, yeah, it's also, I guess, long weekend for some of you, maybe? No. It's long weekend from here in Canada. And I think it's going to be a long weekend for the Americans, you Americans, at the end of later this week. Yeah. I think Friday is long weekend for you Americans. Then it's Independence Day. Okay? And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to track Grace Randolph. So like again, this is about 25, 26 minutes long before she moves on to James Bond. We're not going to be reacting to James Bond, okay? I'm not going to be reacting to James Bond at all. This is going to be focused on just Fantastic Four, and that's it only. Okay? So, hopefully this chat does get popping soon. Okay? Because this is going to be a fun... I think this will be fun, guys. So, all right. Right? Let's start. Let's start this. Well, this is a stream. Did I mute it? No, it's not muted. Not muted. Sorry. Okay.
I really want to apologize for not being as available as I usually am. I'll kind of give you a little bit of an update. Basically, like multiple things in my apartment decided to break at once, including the air conditioning. And so it took all day yesterday. I took a break to go watch Jurassic World Rebirth, and I was then cleaning until like midnight. Hey, Bubbles. And even though I took all day yesterday to try and fix these things, they are still not fixed. So it's really, it's fine. It's not like the end of the world or anything like that. But I wanted to, I think you deserve an explanation as to why, I'm not as available as usual. And it's just, and that's what's kind of creating the problem.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, 80s model.
Let's get rid of this banner.
That's kind of what's creating the issue.
Okay. 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 We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to track that.
I don't know what's going on. It's really difficult. Okay.
We don't need to track her issues at home. We only need to track her pop culture movie TV show takes, stuff like that. Nothing like that. Nothing personal.
That's right, 80s model. Life be lifing.
Okay.
Sam, I'm not going to review Megan 2.0. This week I'm just had to make peace with it. This week just ain't weekend. You know?
Weekend.
It's just not going to happen. Anything that comes out this week, and I feel bad about Squid Game too, because I got word that it's got quite the ending. Hey, Christopher.
Okay. 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 So yeah, we don't need to track any of that. Okay.
Holmes. In fact, if I were you, I would watch Squid Game 2 as soon as it goes live, or at least stay off social media. It's 6 episodes, and I would just stay off social media immediately until you've finished the show, because it will go up immediately. Someone's just going to fast forward to the end and take a photo. Hey, Aaron, and stick it up on the internet. And it's
not me. That's not me.
So I've hinted at what it is before, and it's coming true. 80s model, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to watch the episodes. That's the issue. I have so much stuff with the holiday coming up that I have to prepare for. I don't have time. I don't know if I have the time
So
to
she
watch
wasted
the 6
about
episodes of Squid Game.
3.
Okay,
Okay, so
that's what happened with Ironheart. It wasn't just even so much the time.
Okay, so I guess it's 20 minutes. It'd be more like 20 minutes, I guess. She's talking about, she's giving us a bit of update on her current situation. Okay. All right. You know what? I gotta do something. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Just a minute. All right, just give me a minute. Maybe somebody says something. Nope. 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 All right. But yeah, all right. Okay. All right. Let's see. So yeah, she's just going over. I'm sorry. She's just going over what her plans are, updates, because she is going. Yeah, she did say. She's might be able to do some. She can't review Ironheart and other things because she's making plans for Independence Day weekend. You know, then the holidays coming up this week. So she can't. So some stuff she can make, some stuff she can't. Right? She did say she was talking about the Fantastic Four trailer. Okay. Oh, I forgot to send an invite to Blinded. That's my fault. I sent the video to him, but not the invite. That's my fault. Okay. My bad. Okay. She usually does have some interesting takes on things, and I don't remember if we did a detracting video on her with the other Fantastic Four trailers. I don't know if we did. I did that. Maybe I have. If I did, I apologize if I forgot. But I don't know. Let's see what she has to say here. Let's continue on.
Time to cover the show, but to watch the show. It just would have been I've not watched Ironheart because I just, I had to get ready for them to do all that work on my apartment yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So on Tuesday evening, that's what I was doing. I didn't have time to sit down
So she didn't see Ironheart when this stream was going on.
and watch 3 episodes. So that's just kind of the situation that's been happening for me. Okay. All right. So let's get to these 3 stories. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll be right back. Hope the chat starts popping when I get there, because I'm really disappointed in you guys. Get your asses in here. Okay, get your butts in here. So I'll be right back. I'm thirsty. Then we'll get to her with Fantastic Four. Okay, I'm back. Got my drink because I needed a drink. So I got my drink. So we're gonna go dive into Grace Randolph and what she has to say. Hear what she has to say about the Fantastic Four first steps. Okay, and I hope this starts to get popping. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's get into what she has to say about Fantastic Four.
Very much for your understanding.
So
Again,
might be 20 minutes long.
Emma Frost, X-Men Emma Frost super fan. That was, everybody, even one membership is appreciated, but that was exceedingly generous of you. Thank you so much.
So send me a gift
and
sub.
not only to me.
Send me a gift sub or send a super chat. I don't know. Sounds like it sounds like a gift sub, gift membership, not a gift membership, not a gift sub, a gift membership. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me, guys. Okay. Come say hello. Come say hello, bud. Bud. All right.
But to 50 of your fellow BTT members. Alrighty, hold on.
Okay, what's up now?
Let's see here. All right, so story number 1. Hold on.
Boop.
I gotta boop it in.
Boop it in. Told you, boop.
Boop. They're doing a boop musical apparently on Broadway, and I was like, pour moi. Hey,
A boop musical. A boop musical. I think I want to buy tickets to the Boot musical on Broadway. That sounds interesting. That actually really does sound interesting. A Boot musical? Boop! Boop! Okay. I know I get more people watch. It's obvious I get a bigger audience when I talk Superman. That's quite obvious. This is quite obvious I get a bigger audience when I talk Superman, but it's okay. Well, I did very well with all Let's Talk Pop, so I will be streaming tomorrow. Let you all know. Okay.
Unholy ghosted. I was like, very nice, very nice.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
5 minutes in.
I don't have any chapter times for this because I just want to kind of go through those. I picked the poster frames that I thought were like the most.
Okay. So it seems like it's 20 minutes or 21 minutes of this instead of 25, 26 as I originally pointed out earlier.
Interesting and that had the most new
Okay.
elements to them.
All right.
So here's the poster. Woo! This is the new poster. It really emphasizes their powers, even though we have yet to see a trailer that really focuses on their powers, which I find very interesting. I don't know if it's a budgetary concern or what.
I don't think it's a budgetary concern. It's a tease. You can't show too much of it. They showed some of their powers a little bit, but you can't show too much. You can't expose too much until the film comes out. That's why, man. You got to understand that. That's why. Don't expose too much of their abilities, their powers. Okay. So it's okay. And look. You see the powers in the poster anyway. I mean, the thing is a thing. You see Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards stretching out there. You see Sue Storm. It looks like she's doing their shield thing with her power. And Johnny Storm is half flamed on, half flame off. It looks like he is in the process of being fully flamed on. Fully flamed on. That's what it looks like in this poster. Okay. You see the Silver Surfer in the back. And you see in the back what seems to be Galactus. Like all the way to the back, you see Galactus behind the Baxter building. Silver Surfer in the left. Herbie in the lower left. Galactus, it looks like it's Galactus. You can really, if you really have to look back and see Galactus there. That's what it looks like there. In that poster, to me, maybe I could be seeing it wrong. I don't know. It's possible. Oh no. This is not Jester Bell. I'm not detracting Jester Bell Red, but that's funny. I'm not detracting Jester Bell. We're detracting your other horror, Grace. I mean, Jester Bell, I could, if I wanted to, I could detract her like almost every single day if I wanted to. She's so easy to detract. It's just, you know what? It's like, man, no, she's easy to detract. It's just hard what content of hers to detract to choose from. But Red's in here. Red's here.
We'll see.
Now this makes me want to attract her even more and more. Just
It reminds me a lot, obviously, of The Incredibles. Now everybody gets pretty annoyed, or sometimes I didn't
It's a standard poster.
like the trailer very much. I mean, I didn't dislike the trailer, but I really just kind of felt there was nothing there, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Grace is Finbar's horror, but I haven't seen. I've seen Finbar on my wrestling channel, but I haven't seen Finbar on this channel, like very active in this channel at all in a while. But yeah, you're right. Grace is Finbar's horror. That's right. That's right.
I have a couple of things to talk about. But like, I think it's very much like The Incredibles. And while The Incredibles is actually based on the Fantastic Four, as I've told you many times before, it's always who's first to market in a successful way, especially. And while John Carter, was the inspiration for Star Wars and Superman, by the time John Carter got to the big screen,
John Carter. John Carter. Wait. Go world. John Carter. John Carter was. John Carter was a series. John Carter World of Wars was a series created in 1977 by Marvel Comics. Okay. The Superman movie came out the year after. I don't think John Carter is the inspiration. I know. I don't think John Carter is the inspiration for. Let me.
And while The Incredibles is actually based on the Fantastic Four, as I've told you many times before, it's always who's first to market in a successful way, especially. And while John Carter, was the inspiration for Star Wars and Superman, by the time John Carter got to the big screen, it just seemed derivative.
I don't think John Carter is the inspiration for Superman or Star Wars, because I'm checking John Carter right now. John Carter was first published in 1977. The first Star Wars film came out in 1977, and I mean, I wish the grass was here. 1977. The first Star Wars film was 1977, and Superman came out in 1978, the first movie. There's no way that John Carter was inspiration for both of those franchises. It doesn't make sense. The timeline, the chronological doesn't. Well, not the timeline doesn't make sense. How could How could John Carter go up from Mars? Right? I saw the movie. It sucked big time, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That franchise was created in 1977 through the comics. Superman came out a year after in the theaters. When it got to the big screen, the Superman was created 30 years ago, before the first film. Star Wars came out in 1977. John Carter came out in 1977. His first print came out in 1977. John Carter's almost 50 years old. This is old as Star Wars. Star Wars franchise is almost John Carter. How could John Carter be the inspiration for Star Wars? That doesn't make any sense. And how could John Carter be inspiration for Superman getting to the big screen? That doesn't make any sense either. Where is she getting this information from? Where is she getting this from? And people just believe that? Her simps just believe that? I mean, there's an easy you can do an easy Google search and prove that's wrong. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
No, of course, it was the original.
No, it wasn't. John Carter, the comic came out the same year as the Star Wars movie, A New Hope. And Superman, the movie, came out the next year. John Carter, the comic book series, first of all, created by Marvel Studios, had no impact on either franchise, okay, getting to the big screen or anything like that. In fact, John Carter movie came out 40 years later. What is she talking about? She just it doesn't make sense any sense at all. Okay. Continue.
And so, but I think the real issue is that I don't think that this looks as good as this because this is animation. And I think it's hard to do something at this level in live action.
Grace.
Unless you have.
Grace. Want to be honest with you? Nobody fucking cares what the poster looks like. Nobody really goes into a movie theater and be like, and decides that the poster is the poster is the reason to see a movie. Nobody really cares. They don't go to the theaters and be like, you know what? This poster looks like this poster is shit. I'm not seeing the movie now. Nobody really cares. I don't care. Nobody really cares about what the poster making the decision for someone to see the movie. Nobody really cares. Okay, really, if they go, they go. Okay. For a Fantastic Four movie, nobody really cares. Female dog race puppy thinks Incredible came out before Fantastic Four. Yeah, she probably thinks that too. Okay.
And I'm not sure how I'm not sure how much they spent on Fantastic Four, the live action Marvel movie, but based on the trailers, I can tell you, not enough.
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough.
Okay, so let's go through some of these trailer stills.
Stills. She's gonna do stills.
So we did get a little brief look at Reed Richards using his powers. You know, he barely talks in this trailer. Pedro Pascal is definitely having a moment. He's on the cover of Vanity Fair, I believe, looking amazing, you know?
Oh. Grace has a crush on Pedro Pascal, huh?
You're right, Mika. It might be because they hired a TV director. But it's weird that Pedro Pascal.
What does a TV director have to do with how the effects look? The TV director doesn't work in the. Doesn't. Oh my god! A TV director, non-TV director doesn't make a difference how the VFX looks. All right, seriously.
Pascal just barely says anything, you know? I find that very. 1 second.
Well, he says a lot in the other two trailers. Yeah, it says it in the other two trailers. It does. It's okay. It's okay.
I just am surprised that they're hiding him, not just his powers, but it seems almost his character.
No,
And this is all they show. You know?
they don't want to reveal too much about him in the trailer. Okay, let's relax.
Just like a little
Let's
bit.
relax.
You need a stretch. You know, he's just stretching his leg. But I think they're going to have I agree, John the Chef. They're not letting Pedro be Pedro. I think Pedro Pascal has a wonderful rap.
Why would Pedro be Pedro? He's playing Reed Richards. He's Reed Richards. He's playing Reed Richards. He's playing Mr. Fantastic. I think Mr. Fantastic is not like Pedro Pascal at all. He's playing a totally different character. Why would Pedro be Pedro?
Rascally quality to him that's very that he's really also been developing with his Saturday Night Live and he's becoming, I think, a lot more comfortable in the public eye, and I think people are gravitating towards that. I mean,
What does that have to do with him? Grace. She has no choice. Grace. Let Pedro be Pedro. He can be Pedro outside. He could be Pedro outside of acting. He could be himself outside of acting. He's not the fucking Rock where he plays the same role every single time. He's not fucking Vin Diesel, the same thing. He's not fucking Ryan Reynolds, same thing, okay? Pedro Pascal can actually act. He plays different roles. So why do you want Pedro to play himself? He's actually good at playing different roles. Like Joel, Maxwell Lord, and others. He can actually do a pretty good, solid great English accent without even sounding like he has an accent. So why would he be any different? I guarantee you, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, is a totally. She can lick my boss. He's a totally different person, totally different character than what Pedro. It's called acting. You're not supposed to play someone. You're not supposed to play yourself. That's why it's called acting. Okay. She can lick your balls. Is that a good thing? She can lick my tiny balls, but you actually enjoy that. Of course you would. Of course you would enjoy that. Of course you would enjoy that. And then, how depressing is Red's the only one here?
Even materialists at least kind of played off of that a little bit. But you know, Elastigirl is the model. Elastigirl sequences are Mrs. Incredible in both movies, but particularly Incredibles 2, where she took front and center. I mean, how is this movie going to compete with those sequences? From the motorbike to the stopping the train to, you know,
Grace, what's the difference between Incredibles and the Fantastic Four? There's one big difference between these two films, and it's very easy to see. I mean, I see it. Red sees it. I think most people see it. Oh, I don't. But you clearly don't see it. I'm gonna tell you, Grace, Miss Randolph, what the difference is between. What the difference between one is live action, the other is animation. It's easier to do stuff like that in animation than it is live action. Okay.
this helicopter sequence, and also when she was going after, you know, going through the city to find
Grace,
the bad guy. You know, I'm not going to ruin Incredibles 2 if you haven't seen it.
ruin
But
it. Incredibles 2's been out for a while. Spoil it. I mean, come on. There should be a limit. There should be a limit of what's it called? You know what I'm talking about. But there should be. Incredibles 2 came out when? Okay, it came out, I don't know, a long time, some time ago. Incredibles 2, right? I don't know, 2018. Okay, Incredibles 2 came out 7 years ago. I think you could spoil a movie that's 7 years old. Okay? Okay, I think you could spoil a movie that's 7 years old. If people haven't seen it in your chat or who watches your videos or streams, too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Too fucking bad. I'm sorry. I think you could spoil a 7-year-old movie, okay? There's sorry. Sorry. I think you should be allowed to spoil a movie that's almost a decade old. Heck, I think you could spoil a movie that's almost 2 or 3 years old. She can lick Finbar.
Incredibles 2, you know, the action that they dreamed up for Elastigirl was just, it's Jeremiah says they should just copy it. You know, yeah, I would just, you know, it's the same studio. I mean, I would have talked to Brad Bird and been like, you know,
Why?
any ideas he didn't use, right? And he's like, no, I'm saving them for Peter Stone and Incredibles 3. And you're like, darn it. So I just feel that's difficult.
God damn it.
All right, then, what else people were surprised about was this look at Sue Storm's powers. She doesn't have telekinesis. She has invisible force fields. So I'm not quite sure why her invisible force fields are able to make beams.
Sue Storm never had telekinesis. I don't think she ever had telekinesis. Do you know what telekinesis is? Is Grace? Yeah, she does have telekinesis. Okay, Sue Storm does have it. Does she? I don't know.
Float.
Yeah, but Sue Storm is always able to create invisible force fields.
It's tough. This is like we're getting into comic book nerd territory here, right? Like push up my glasses.
Good job, Grace. Good job, Grace. You just stereotypically insulted all comic book nerds by doing that, by pushing up your imaginary glasses. That means you're assuming everybody that reads comic books have glasses. Are you calling everybody who's comic book a nerd? People with glasses? Are you saying regular people that don't wear glasses are nerds too? No, my bad. So you're saying everybody that reads comics have glasses? Are nerds? Are nerds? Don't you see the irony in your take here? Like, do you see what you're saying? Like, I read comic books. I don't wear glasses. Glasses. You guys see my face? I don't wear glasses when I read because I don't need them. But you saying, but you're saying everybody reads comic books. Oh my, get my nerdy comic book here. Point up my glasses. Oh my god! See what she says?
Because her force fields are supposed to be objects. Like they're just invisible. So she wouldn't make an invisible cloud. She would make like an invisible platform or pulley that would raise it. It would be.
Not necessarily true.
It would make sense. She creates things that are invisible, but they make sense. This just kind of turns her into telekinetic, which I guess maybe is easier for some people to understand.
No. Grace. Telekinetic. She has telekinesis, I believe. So, yeah, it's not a bad point, actually.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I feel she's really encroaching on Wanda's territory a little bit.
Wanda's territory.
I mean, Wanda's powers aren't well defined either.
Wanda's territory. Are you not? Are you allowed? Are you saying only one character is allowed to have one ability? One ability? Are you saying two characters are not allowed to share an ability, a power? You know this. You know how this works, right, Grace? This is not how comic book world works. Okay, there's gonna be multiple people with the same. You can say, okay, Grace. Thor could fly. Doctor Strange could fly. No, Grace. You know when if you fucking you say you read comics, but you make a fucking dumb ass statement like that, a fucking dumb statement like that, you realize in comics more than one character could have the same power, the same ability. Some characters can have super strength, same right. Multiple people have super strength, multiple hearing, flight, telekinesis, telepathically. I mean, Professor Xavier is not the only one who could read people's minds. Grace. Wanda's not the only one who could create kind of force fields. There's other characters that could do it. Grace. No, okay.
But this is interesting. I think.
By the way, Wanda's power is just defined. By the way, it's magic. That's it. Basic magic. chaos magic.
Direction to take the powers. And they're like rainbowy instead of blue. I think they're focusing, Tuck says her powers are bending light.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess technically they are, but I always felt her powers were invisible force fields, that she could create of any size and make them do anything. Not if she bends light, then she just becomes photon. I think we need to be really careful about the powers.
Oh.
Although Mr. Andrew says as long as they look cool, and for some people I think that, that will be enough. Maybe most people. So I like this. I thought this was a great gag. This is a take obviously on the famous historic Coppertone ad where it's usually a little girl or a little boy. Here it's Johnny as an adult, and I thought that was really cute. I think it fits with the time period quite well. It's very Johnny. I think and Coppertone paid for that too, by the way. So I thought that was cute. I liked that quite a bit. I thought it was one of the better gags in the trailer.
Why do you like that, Grace? It's because you have the hots for Johnny? I don't know. You have the hots for Johnny?
All right, then Ben. I'm really starting to come around on Ben. I've never liked the Thing in the comics or the movies. I've never been a big fan of this character. But there's something about Ebon Moss Backrack from Cousin from The Bear. I tried to watch the Bear season 4 last night, after I was cleaning. I was like, these episodes are only half an hour. I'll treat myself to an episode of The Bear because I miss you, Richie. Cousin.
I miss you, Richie. I probably could have done this. I probably could have done this at 10 o'clock. But whatever. Hi, TJ. What's up, TJ? What's up? No gaming stream with Tony today? Why is he not doing a gaming stream today? All right, let's continue on.
Richie, and then I was like, so boring. I was like, it's just as avant-garde as it was last season. Darn it.
Get to the.
It's Bacharach, like Burt Bacharach. Thank you.
Bacharach.
Sure. But anyway, I'm really liking the performance. I think he's really standing out. I like him a lot. Then this concerned me, okay? Because you know what it reminds me of?
That concerned you?
Pepperidge Farm remembers Ang Lee's Hulk movie from the early 2000s. This was, Ang Lee also decided to use comic book panels. Even down, to the way the screen is divided and with black lines. Although I think sometimes Ang Lee also used white lines. I'm not sure. But I got to tell you, I remember seeing this movie in theaters, the Ang Lee Hulk one, and people laughed at it. It did not go over well with general audiences.
Yeah, because
and I could understand intellectually where Ang Lee was coming.
Well, because a lot of people didn't like Hulk 1 in general, though. The original Hulk movie with Eric Bana, a lot of people don't like that movie anyway. And who really cares?
But it just did not work.
Who really cares?
A little bit.
Why is this? Why is this important to you?
Look at Nor. God forbid movies have any style. Well, you're like going to be sitting alone in the theater wearing a beret and a turtleneck while you wonder where everybody is.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't know.
I was thinking when I was about doing such a stylized Fantastic Four, I was like, if Peyton Reed came up with the idea, you probably shouldn't do it, even if it sounds like a good idea. You'd be like, I like that too, but since Peyton Reed suggested it, I think we shouldn't do it. That's just my concern. I mean, maybe it'll do well, but I think it's like combined, like if someone pitched you Ang Lee's The Hulk with Mad Men, you'd be like, I gotta tell you, you might be like, I kind of like it, but I can tell you I would be concerned about it.
Yeah, what does that have to do? Move on.
So let's see. I'm glad some of you liked it. I really did not like it. I thought this did not work for me at all.
I don't think people care. Honestly, I don't think people care if that's in the movie or not.
All right, then I liked the Silver Surfer's line. Julia Garner, when she said, I herald your end, I herald his beginning, I herald Galactus. And I was like, it's pretty good. And I thought she did a nice job delivering the line. I thought that was excellent. I was really
Does she sound like how Silver Surfer would talk?
Sue Storm answers them. I mean, I really love Sue Storm and an Invisible Woman, and I'm glad that she's getting more of an active role here and more agency. But Reed is supposed to be the leader of the team.
No,
it just is bizarre to me.
No. Here's the problem with this leadership. Reed is the leader of the team. Here's the problem. In this Fantastic Four, Reed and Sue are married. You think this, for example, you think if I was part of a group, part of a team, a group, you think if I'm married, you think my wife would be second command? No. Once you're married, Sue Storm, Reed is not the leader anymore. Sue is co-leads. They're co-leads. You're married. Guess what? You're not the leader anymore. You're co-leads. Okay, you're co-leads. Yes. Reed may come up with the scientific methods, stuff like that, to defeat opponents, stuff like that. But Sue's leadership comes in other ways, more of a motherly sister kind of. You're up here. More of a sister, motherly kind of role, where she's watches over Johnny. She's the sister to Johnny. She watches over Johnny. She obviously her leadership is a different role in the Fantastic Four, okay? More of a mother sister type role, where with Johnny, she makes sure Johnny doesn't get in trouble, doesn't say anything stupid, things like that, right? With Reed, she makes sure Reed is like that. That's wrong, Reed. She calls out Reed on his bullshit, stuff like that. She's a mother she's a leader in a different aspect. Yeah, where's TJ? Okay, she's a leader in a different aspect. Okay, sorry. Like, if you're married, that sole leadership is out the window. Okay, that's out the window. Him
really speak in trailers. All right. Then people were wondering, what's this? Look at this. Oh, okay. Let me just show it to you. You can kind of see it here.
It's a ship.
I know what this is. In fact,
what is it? What is it, Grace?
If you know the leaks, you also know what it is.
What is it, Grace?
Because they tested this for general audiences, because they must be nervous about it, and it leaked.
They test everything for general audiences.
I'm not going to tell you what this is, but I'm very curious to see people's reaction to what this is, because this is a major change in comic book, continuity.
Grace, test screenings doesn't mean they're nervous. What is she talking about?
Okay. Then I wonder what's happening here. This might be the Fantastic Four. However, the there's not four. I don't think I see four standees. So it makes me feel like maybe that's like something to do with Galactus. It is very Man of Steel-y. I would agree with that, Keneal. And then
Avengers has something a little similar to that.
here's Franklin. Oh, that baby's a superstar already. It's a little bit like when we first saw Wiccan in Speed, as kids and babies. And we were like, oh, that's Wiccan in Speed. But I think the interesting thing about Franklin is that he's not particularly well defined as an older character in the comics. They can't even decide what color his hair is. Sometimes he's blonde like his mom and his uncle, the Storms. Sometimes he has black hair, more like Reed. So I don't think...
I think he is going to have blonde hair. I think if I know he's just a baby hair, but his hair looks blonde. I think he's going to have blonde hair. That's what I think is going to happen. He's going to have blonde hair.
Even Marvel Comics has really done a particularly good job. They've done a better job with Valeria, his sister, than they have with Franklin. So I think that holds the excitement back just a little, because I don't think the character's as well established. That's funny. It is kind of like Jack, Jessica. That's funny. Then there is a time jump. At the very least, you'll see.
Yeah, there's a time jump.
There's a time jump. There's quite the time jump. You'll be surprised. Very WandaVision. I mean, they really hired Matt Shackman for a reason. And I think Sue Storm is being very Wanda-coded, And it's even WandaVision-y in terms of being a period piece, which I think is very interesting.
No, WandaVision is a period... Well, WandaVision technically isn't a period piece, though. Yeah, I mean, like... It may seem like that, but WandaVision is not really a period piece. It did not go back in time or anything like that. Okay? I mean, I want to say it's a period piece. It's just her changing reality. That's what it is. It's not really a period piece. It's just her changing reality.
All right, so yes, everybody's talking about the Thing having a beard, and it's not made of hair, but of rocks. And this has been established in the comics. He started out having a fake beard that he just like a fake beard that he wore. And then over the years, it became a beard of rocks. But I don't understand. Why would it only grow out of his chin? Hair grows out of other areas as well. So I don't understand why it would only...
Who fucking cares? Who really cares? Who really cares where it grows out of, Grace? Come on. It grows out of red. No, I'm kidding. Who really cares?
Only be there. I don't know. I mean, Vitor doesn't like it. I kind of liked it. I kind of like it. I don't know. He looks pretty... I don't know how he's going to shave Just Blaze Disney. That's a great question. But I just think he looks... I don't know.
The beard is okay, yeah.
Guys in particular like the man. And so to me, this is very Old Spice. Like, how can the Thing get even more manly? Give him a beard. Turn him into a bear. I mean, I think it's really
turn him into a
an
bear?
Interesting choice. But it looks good. I mean, I got to tell you, it looks good on him. I think he looks nice with the beard. I'm like, he looks good. I like it. So that's my thoughts on the final.
Well, Ben will carve his hair. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll do that. He'll find a way. Yeah, he'll find a way, Grace. He'll find a way. Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
Let me put up the poster again. That's my thoughts on the final trailer. I don't think it moved the needle. Would be my...
That's it? That's it? That's it? That's sad. That's really, I don't know, deflating. Really, man, that just should have been exciting. It should be exciting.
Interpretation of how it was yesterday.
That's when you pick from the trailer stuff you like really don't, stuff that doesn't really matter.
I think that, people who were interested in Fantastic Four were like, yay, more stuff to discuss. But I think people who weren't particularly interested in Fantastic Four, I think it trended momentarily because they added Twitter emojis to the Fantastic Four hashtag.
Yeah, which they always do.
So that always gets things to trend for a little bit, but we'll see.
Attention Stark Tower. Johnny Storm would like to announce that today is Banker's 55th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm. You should super chat that. Hellboy carves his horns off. Oh yeah. Well, this was a movie too. Yeah, this was bad, man. I apologize.
You guys love a poll.
I apologize.
How excited are you for?
I apologize, guys. I thought this would be a lot more exciting. It's not even done yet.
Super excited.
Super excited. That's funny though.
I'm looking forward to it.
She's doing a poll though.
Then meh. And then looks bad. All right, by the way, of course, anyone who's watching can vote in a poll. You don't have to be a member to vote in a poll. Anyone who's watching can vote. You just have to click on it. Yeah, Jada Jonah Jameson. I thought Johnny Storm, to me...
Jada Jonah Jameson is in this? Wait,
I think Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm are doing the best job. Although, Joseph Quinn looks so...
J. Jonah Jameson just, I didn't know, you see that, Jonah Jameson? Wow. Because, Joe Jameson, Jester, I mean, look, yeah, TJ, I can do Jester Bell, obviously, right? Like, she's easy to do. And she made another video about Patrick Pascal. Okay. Hibby Jibbity, I think it's Hibby Jibbity. But yeah, Jester Bell, I could easily do. I mean, there's others I want to detract too. All right. I got to get on the Ironheart detractors train. I mean, who? I got to get on that. Yeah, Jamie Jameson is somebody in the chat, on this live stream.
So much like Robert Downey Jr., especially with the short hair. He not only looks like him, but moves like him and speaks like him, that I do find it a little distracting.
Multiverse variant, young version. Those Fantastic Four people. That's what a real hero should be. Not like that criminal Spider-Man. Parker, get a picture of the Fantastic Four at the event. Yes, Mr. Jameson. Warning: a small thermonuclear device is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapon lab. Hibby Jibbity.
Distracting. Like when he's talking to Ben Grimm all the time, I'm like, oh my God, it's blonde Robert Downey Jr.
It's blonde Robert Downey Jr.
Honestly, to me, I think it's going to perform just like the other movies did this year. It might be the most successful of the three, but I think it's going to be right in that space.
My God. If Fantastic Four performs like the rest of the other movies, where Thunderbolts and Captain America, that's not a good success. That's a major fail for Marvel. Fantastic Four cannot make under 400 million, which Thunderbolts did, and cannot make less than 500 million, which Captain America made. And it has to make more than both of those films. And I'm not talking about like 20 million more. All right? 20 million more. It has to make a good substantial amount more. like at least a couple hundred millions more, like 100 to 200 million more. No. I'll say this: Captain America was in the 400 millions. Thunderbolt's just under 400 million. Fantastic Four has to make at least 200 to 400 million more than Thunderbolts. 200 to 350 more than Captain America. Just saying. To me, for Fantastic Four to be a success, it has to be between 600 and 800 million. If it falls under that, I don't consider it a success. I think she's dead wrong. I don't think it's going to fall in the same range as the last two movies. There's a lot more hype, a lot more popularity, a lot more promoting around this movie than Thunderbolts and Captain America.
That might sadly be the size of the Marvel audience right now, which would be terrifying. That would be so bad.
Look, just a whisper
I'm
that.
not sure why you don't
Just
see
a
a
whisper
poll.
that.
People are voting. It's right at the top of the chat. Tickets is 600. That's pretty good guess. Travis is way more excited for Fantastic Four than Superman. You have tickets for FF, but you're waiting for Superman. Oh, hey, thank you, Aralysis. X-Men Superfan says, did you like Silver Surfer? Yes, I did. I liked what she did there a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about the character overall, but in that trailer, I liked what she did. Anthony says, what villains would you have done? How would you change it with your business hat?
Oh my God.
I gotta tell you, I don't think Fantastic Four is gonna work. I think that I gotta tell you, I mean, I just don't think that there are.
She can't.
You know, I think you already have the Incredibles. If I had to do it,
The Incredibles. The Incredibles.
Had to do it, I would make. I mean, but I'd feel bad because Incredibles is mine as well. But I would just do a blatant Incredibles ripoff.
Incredibles. That's not the reason at all. She couldn't think of a reason, so she has to go with Incredibles. That's her reason why she doesn't think she's gonna do well. Incredibles 2 came out 7 years ago. Incredibles 1 came out longer. Nobody's gonna look at compare Incredibles to Fantastic Four. Okay? That's a dumbass reason. She couldn't come up with a reason. She had to think of a reason, right, to come up with this, because she didn't have one. So she pushed the Incredibles. Incredibles is a safeguard reason. I'm like, okay, but this is Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is a Marvel property. We see Fantastic Four. They're in the MCU. Marvel Cinematic Universe. While wherever the popularity is. Wherever the popularity is right now, it's still a lot more popular than Incredibles. This leads into their biggest movie since Endgame. This is a lead into their biggest movie since Endgame. Okay, Avengers Doomsday. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She has to get her head out of the gutter with Incredibles. Okay. There's other. Okay. Just stop with that.
You know, like, I wouldn't even be like, it's kind of like the Incredibles. I'd be like, live action Incredibles. Only they're
how is it? It's not like
called the Fantastic Four. Yeah, or Alice, I would have skipped right to X-Men. You know, I think there's like some Marvel fans who are like, Marvel's first family. But, you know, people don't even really get that excited about Fantastic Four comics.
But here's the problem. Okay, I like X-Men. They're getting to X-Men. Here's the issue. Kang originally was supposed to be the guy, right? Kang is a big multiversal villain. And Fantastic Four... It's Incredibles with Fantastic Four. Kang was the first villain in the saga, right? Fantastic Four... One of their enemies is Kang. Fantastic Four is very important to Kang. Was very important to Kang. This movie was announced, got a director, before all the Jonathan Major stuff. I remember it. I remember when they announced the director in 2022. Jonathan Major stuff came out the year after, okay? So Kang was originally supposed to be the villain, right? Of the Avengers movie of this multiverse saga, right? Which the Fantastic Four has history with. and the multiverse stuff. Reed Richards in the comics is very influential in the multiverse. Okay? Okay? That's why they needed me in the Fantastic Four. And then they replaced Kang Avengers Doomsday, and with Doom as the main villain. And guess what? Reed Richards, Fantastic Four, well, who's their arch nemesis, their arch rival? Doom. Okay? So Fantastic Four was always important. They needed to make a Fantastic Four movie for Kang, for Kang, and for more of Kang, because we saw a couple variants of Kang, and replacing Kang with Doom. If you wanted to make an X-Men movie, there's no point of doing Avengers Doomsday. Sorry. If you wanted an X-Men movie instead, Avengers Doomsday should not be announced. Avengers Doomsday is no point in doing Avengers Doomsday. Sorry. Or there's no point in doing Kang either. No point in doing Kang as the main villain or Doom. So once this got introduced to the multiverse saga, once Kevin Feige basically said 4, 5, and 6 is basically the multiverse saga, Fantastic Four is very important to the multiverse aspects of Marvel. Okay, so they needed a Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was kind of needed for this, for the 4, 5, and 6. Otherwise, you can't have Kang, anything with Kang going forward, which is not, or Doom.
I think Reed Richards is the only character here that kind of moves the needle a little bit, with like big crossover events, which is why they put him in Multiverse of Madness, and everyone got so excited when John Krasinski showed up, and they were like, oh.
That's like making Apocalypse Avengers villain without X-Men. Yeah, exactly. That's like making it pop. Yeah, exactly, TJ. Like if you make Avengers Apocalypse, but no X-Men's in it. Like what the fuck? Like come on.
Oh, there he is. J. Jonah Jameson, that's really fascinating
J.
to
Jonah
say they're a
Jameson.
royalty brand. It did, Fantastic Four did kick off Marvel Comics. And I think
Also, Grace, Fantastic Four is more popular than some of the Marvel Cinematic characters we got already. Fantastic Four is a lot more popular than Ant-Man. Okay? Say this. Fantastic Four is always more popular than the Guardians. Okay? Fantastic Four may not be on the tier as Spider-Man, X-Men, but Fantastic Four, I'll say this. Fantastic Four, to me, it's on the same tier as the Hulk. But his tier, I say Fantastic Four was in a higher tier than Iron Man. Most of the MCU characters at the beginning, I say Fantastic Four was a lot more popular than Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Guardians, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi. Fantastic Four was a lot more popular than those characters. She-Hulk. Always were. Sorry. They always were. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 were good. Both of them were good. I like both of them. But 2 was so good. Yeah, Fantastic Four had movies before. There was actually one in the 90s. The one in the 90s that really nobody got to see. And then the ones in the 2000s. Okay. Fantastic Four. Doom is like a top 5 Marvel villain. Doctor Doom is a top 5 Marvel villain. Okay. And if you do top 10 Marvel villains, I guarantee you most of the people in their list would fucking have either X-Men villains or Spider-Man villains. X-Men villains. Like, right? If you do top 10 Marvel villains, most of the people probably have like Spider-Man or X-Men villains. Your whole Roger Corman, most people's whole list would probably have X-Men and Spider-Man villains in it. To me, Doctor Doom's a top 5 Marvel villain. Roger Corman, yeah, thank you.
you're right, Superman did kick off DC. So they're always given a little bit more, maybe, attention than they should, put a little bit higher on the pedestal than they deserve to be. I would say that while they might have started these companies, they're not the brands that built the companies, which is fascinating.
Superman did build the company. What are you fucking talking about? Superman did build the DC company, okay? Okay? And then Batman came along and continued helping build the company with the brand with DC. Wonder Woman came along. Flash came along. Superman did. If Superman wasn't popular, you think DC wouldn't survive? Wouldn't be a juggernaut for decades and decades? Batman would. Honestly, I don't think Batman would survive. I don't think Batman would be popular if Superman wasn't popular first. Sorry, but what is she fucking talking about? Superman is the brand of DC first. But Doom, yeah, I can see that. But what is she talking about? Like,
And it's interesting, they're coming out not only the same year, but back to back with the same stuff.
she needs to do a little bit of comic book history. She says she knows comics. I don't think she knows comics at all. She needs to do some history. Because, especially for DC, if Superman wasn't a hit, people weren't reading Superman back in the 30s, 40s, you think DC would be around back then? Batman wouldn't save it. Okay? I don't think Batman would happen. Honestly? No. Superman is what launched DC. Batman was just good. Help. Wonder Woman. Okay?
Style. That's very interesting to me. Superman's definitely more popular, Atmosphere. Definitely more popular. I think Superman will be more successful in this film. For sure.
She thinks, well, she says a positive. The thing is, for sure. Here's the thing. I think it could go either way, honestly. I think Superman could be more successful, and I think Fantastic Four could be more successful. I think it's 50-50 to me. But to me, it doesn't matter. I want them to both be successful. Okay? But I think Fantastic Four, while the marketing and promoting Superman has, I still think Fantastic Four has a little bit of the advantage. And I know people are saying, oh, Marvel, because of Marvel, there's the Marvel fatigue. I still think Fantastic Four, people are still want to see Fantastic Four more than the other two movies that came out this year. And the announcement of Avengers Doomsday, the filming of Avengers Doomsday coming soon, I think you kind of need to see this movie. If you're going to... This is the kind of movie where you may not miss. You cannot miss, because it will lead into Avengers Doomsday, as has been confirmed by Kevin Feige himself. So I think there's a chance. I think Fantastic Four, it will be more successful in that sense, just because Avengers. No, I don't. Okay, that's what I think. Look, all leading movies to the next Avenger movies have done well, no matter how good the movie is. Okay, right? For example, Black Panther, the first movie, done very well. Good movie, but that was a lead into Avengers Infinity War, right? Captain Marvel, whether it's good or bad, made $1 billion, was a lead into Avengers Endgame. Well, Avengers Doomsday is, from this movie, a year and 5 or 6 months. I still think it will do well, because it'll still be a lead into Avengers Doomsday, because Marvel Studios really has no other movie on the horizon. It's coming out between that and Avengers Doomsday. I guess Spider-Man from Sony. Unless you could include Spider-Man, Brand New Day. But there's really nothing in between. Okay, so I really think it could go either way. But I still think Fantastic Four has a bit of advantage because just the knowing what's on the horizon with Fantastic Four, the next big movie, Avengers Doomsday. And okay, that's why. And because Superman may do well, but there's no big movie in DC that's leading into Supergirl to me is not going to make as much as Superman. Okay, I'm just saying this. I don't think Supergirl is going to make as much as Superman. Okay, or I don't think Clayface same with Clayface. Clayface I just think is going to make Clayface. I think it's just going to be. I don't think Clayface is Joker. I'll be shocked if Clayface makes 500 million. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Supergirl makes 600, 700 million. I'll be shocked. But I'm saying this: the next Marvel movie, I think it'll do well. Spider-Man's gonna kill with $1 billion, and Avengers Doomsday is gonna kill with $1 billion. I don't see a DC movie on the horizon that's gonna make where I think $1 billion is possible. Possible. And I'm not saying $1 billion, you get $1 billion has to be considered successful. I'm just saying this idea that people have that $1 billion is considered a success that's what I'm just saying, right? The only movie on DC on the horizon I think it gets to $1 billion is probably the Batman Part 2. Batman Part 2. Batman Part 2 in 2 years. But I don't see Superman doing that. I don't see Fantastic Four, but I do see Spider-Man and 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 Avengers. But with DC, I don't see Superman doing that. I don't see Clayface or Supergirl even getting close to that. I do see Batman Part 2. Because Batman Part 2 has a lot of good stuff going into that movie, man. The first movie people made little over 750 million. I think if some places were open in the rest of the world, like I don't know, some countries that were still a little bit close on the pandemic, I think it would have cost the 800 million mark. Also, the Penguin was a huge success, mega success for Warner, right? Acclaimed, people love the show. I think it helps the Batman Part 2, okay? But I don't see anything in the DCU as good as $1 billion movie. If Superman 1 does well, Superman 2 may have the potential to be $1 billion. To me, there's only one DCU movie on her movie or character right now that could almost not 100% guarantee $1 billion, but most likely get to $1 billion, and that's Batman. Batman. With this, I don't think Fantastic Four will get to $1 billion, but Spider-Man and Avengers Doomsday, yeah, it's gonna get to $1 billion. It's quiet, huh?
Josh, as I said on Movie Math on Sunday, all Fantastic Four has to do right now is be better than the last 2 Marvel movies. It has to go above Captain America 4.
No. I think it just. I don't think it has to be better. Okay, I think it has to be good. I think it has to be good. Okay, it has to be better than Captain America 4, but I'm okay with it not being as good as Thunderbolts. But okay, it still has to be good. It doesn't have to be better. It doesn't have to be better than Thunderbolts. It just has to be good. Okay, that's it. My opinion.
If it has a 4 in front of it, it's going to be pretty bad. I think that I'd say it has to have a 5 in front of it, and that's like so sad that now
5. No, that's a fail, man.
like with a Marvel movie, you're like, come on, half a billion dollars, come on, where it used to be, would it get to $1 billion? Okay, so the results of the poll are 36% of you are looking forward to it, 29% of you are like, meh, 25% of you are super excited. So only a quarter of you are super excited, whilst only 7% of you, though, think it looks bad. I don't think it looks bad. The question is, does it look like something you need to see in theaters? Anthony says, do you worry about the current discourse surrounding female characters when it comes to X-Men?
What?
No, I mean, I haven't really seen any conversation about that. I mean,
What?
X-Men, when it comes to the X-Men, the female characters are really important, although I think a lot of people are really itching for a good Cyclops.
Oh, nobody really cares about Cyclops. Okay.
I gotta tell you, that actress from Sinners, I bet you she's Storm. I mean, it's just too perfect. I've seen some fan art, with her changing her look for Storm. I mean, she's Storm. She looks incredible. Jamie Lawson. Thank you, Ben 10. I mean, I'd be really shocked if she wasn't Storm.
Yeah, well, Jamie Lawson's gonna be back in the Batman, so I don't know if she's gonna be Storm.
Elvis Chris, we do need a hot Cyclops. Patrick Schwarzenegger is really trying to make Patrick Schwarzenegger work. Patrick Schwarzenegger's like, please, somebody hire me. If he can't get something off of White Lotus,
As Arnold's
I don't
son.
know. It would be bizarre. He's been rumored to be in the running for Cyclops. If he can't land that Cyclops gig, I think he's got a real problem. Steven says Snow White also stated Disney princess, but she's hardly the best. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's right, Steven. Snow White does apply to that as well. The one that started it all, but not the one. Well, she did for a while, but I mean, she's not at all popular today. Wow, that's so weird. What a weird year. Snow White, Superman, and Fantastic Four all in the same year. And they all have that same quality. That's fascinating.
No, they don't.
I just don't want teenage X-Men. I'd be very upset if it was teenage X-Men. Don't you dare, Kevin Feige. James Marsden did deserve better, but I'm hoping that in the upcoming Doomsday movie that he gets to shine a little bit more. C. Black says that F4's projection is between 600 to 800 million. I'd be amazed. It's funny you guys bring up Arnold Schwarzenegger's previous roles. I'll say one other thing, and then I got to get to the next story. But fascinatingly, I saw an article talking about how Arnold Schwarzenegger revealed that the biggest payday for him was the movie Twins with Danny DeVito, because he got back end. Because nobody thought he could make a comedy, so he had to agree to work for no money up front and just take a part of the back end. And he said he made over $40 million off of Twins. And that's a very old movie. So yes, I was rewatching Twins, which is available
What does it have to do with
commercials
Fantastic Four?
on Prime Video. And I got to tell you, I'm seeing the Evolution, with Arnold Schwarzenegger that young and that blonde, he does. I can see the Patrick Schwarzenegger. I mean, usually I'm like, how are you Arnold's kid? But then when I was watching Twins, I was like, well, yeah, I see it. So very interesting. That's right, Adam's Fair. We're not even talking about Fantastic Four. All right. I think that Patrick Schwarzenegger would have been a better Johnny Storm. I feel bad. I like Joseph Quinn, but he's just not Johnny Storm.
Oh, he's just not Johnny Storm?
Okay, let's go to the next story of the day.
All right. I don't know why this is short. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you guys. This Grace Randolph, I'm an idiot. This Grace Randolph stream I'm doing was kind of boring. What she's giving us was kind of boring. Nothing outrageous. Some things here that make my head scratch, but nothing crazy, nothing outrageous that makes me laugh or makes me yell or angers me. I should have picked a better story to tell. A better video, a detracting video, because this is really, really bad, this one. I even admit it. I will admit this one is kind of bad, and she gave us really nothing. To me, like, nothing too outrageous, too serious to talk about. It's I don't know what else to say about this. Is that she doesn't sound excited for the movie. She thinks it's gonna flop, and not be successful. And but she does think she doesn't she thinks this movie can make like 500 million, 400, 500 million. I think she's a little delusional in that take. I mean, she's delusional in a lot of things, and she says a lot of things that don't make sense, that are really out there, outrageous, that nobody else in their right mind could come up with. Kind of like the Snyder Cult. Okay. I don't. I don't know what else to say about this. This is actually one of might be my shortest attraction to him. I blame Blinded and others for not showing up. Blame not you guys, TJ, not Red. I don't blame you guys. I thank you for coming in, but I blame others people for not coming. Man, you guys you guys helped make it fun, but the others didn't. Shows how loyal they are. Yeah, I'm calling them out. But yeah, I'm gonna let you all know. I think to let you all know, I'm gonna stream basically almost every day. Okay, I'm streaming tomorrow. Okay, streaming tomorrow, but not Mondays. I'm not streaming Mondays, but I'm streaming tomorrow. But Tuesdays and Fridays I'm streaming. Saturdays and Sundays I'm streaming. Fridays I think I'm doing Let's Talk Pop on Fridays, and Sundays are gonna be detracting streams like this, and there'll always be videos uploaded too in between, right? Like those are random. There's no specific days. A specific day I'm gonna have uploading videos. Those are gonna happen. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna have my stream up. But yeah, I should take away his wrench. But so I will stream tomorrow, but I won't stream the Monday after. But I'll stream Fridays now again. And yeah, so Tuesday to Friday, Saturdays to Sundays. I'm adding to this schedule, man. I could do it now. I could do it. All right, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. I hope next stream tomorrow is better. It won't be like an episodic stream like Let's Talk Pop or AW Detracts. It'll be something like I do the past few